What do you think is going to be Bitcoin's next big move? Is it up or down? A lot of people are getting very bearish. You know what I think Bitcoin's next big move is? Did you predict this was going to happen? Right? This is not just from me drawing fancy charts. This is actually a price fractal from the most likely scenario in which I see Bitcoin right now. Where does this come from? Where does this come from? Okay, so here it is. Let me show you guys. Basically, I've drawn it here again. But you might notice, as I've been saying, it's most similar to May 2021. Here it is. I've been looking at all these crashes, right? And these liquidity, massive liquidity flushes like this one here, right? When Bitcoin was at 43K, I called for 30K, boom, hit 30K exactly that day. One day, down like 33% in one day. And it was basically, that's when I made my TikTok and made me go viral. That's how most of you guys knew about me. Anyways, so look what happened since then, right? This is what we call a falling wedge pattern. See, here's the bottom of the wedge, and here's the top of the wedge, and it's leaning downwards, falling wedge, and it keeps on bouncing up and down, up and down, up and down, like a pinball machine. It has touched the top and the bottom like about 4 to 6 times, right? So basically, that's what I've been trying to say. We're going to go into, you can call it a pinball machine action, you can call it a sideways action, you can call it crabbing action, but essentially, whenever the price touches the top of the range, it's time to short. When price touches the bottom of the range, it's time to long. And of course, sometimes they test you, the market makers, as you know, they like to play very tricky games. So they take it slightly below your buy stop, right? Or they go slightly above your sell stop, right? So high leverage probably won't work here because they might take it just a little bit above, right? You might think, hey, this was the bottom, and you set your stop here, right, with a tight stop. They might just take it below. That's the whole point, because that's the game that you're playing with against the market maker. So I copied this, right, this price fractal, and I pasted it, and this was of course the crash in 2021 from 64K down to 28.5K and then up to 69K top. So I copy and pasted that price action, and I put it here to where we are right now. And that's what it will give us. See the green and red? That's where the price action is right now. Oh, and by the way, today's episode, we're going to talk about one or two of the altcoins that are doing really well right now. Something that I've spoken about before, consider it as an update. They're doing really well right now, right? And folks are wondering why they're doing really well. I'm going to explain it to you. What's the logic, and if this run can continue to keep going or not. So we've already seen it. It's already wicked down to like 101K. We bounce up, down, something like this. I would think even this 101K area could get tested with a dip into like 99K just to freak everyone out. And then we bounce up to as high as 115, even 123K is possible. Massive, up and down move, sort of wide swings like a pinball machine. And then we go. Remember the date. This is projecting the date of the move to be 1st of December or 30th of November. Basically, end of November, start of December. We go up and boom, right? Make a new all-time high. Or double top here and then pull back. But like I have a more hopium version of what's going to happen. In this version, we basically go make a new all-time high. Where is the new all-time high? It hits 132K, let's call it. And then we pull back, right, and hit these levels, which is 122, 123, and then go up. One more leg up. And in this more hopium version, where's the bottom? 26th November, 27th of November. Basically, end of November, start of December is when I'm looking for this this series of moves to end. Right. And now, but as we can see, the market is kind of bearish right now. Everyone's sentiment is down. But in this kind of environment, which crypto coins are performing really well with great relative strength. Before we answer that question, first let's answer the question of which crypto exchange does Pablo Heman use? Well, Pablo uses this exchange that's non-KYC. That means you don't need to show any ID. That means, so the exchange can't even see who you are. That means the IRS can't see you. The tax office can't see you. FBI, CIA, nobody can see you. Total privacy. That's why Pablo has made this exclusive deal with them only on the Pablo Heman link. Win up to $6,000 plus 2 ETH. Whatever ETH may be by the end of this campaign, right? And also get 20% just by depositing. Deposit $100, get 20 US dollars futures bonus by trading 4K, right? Deposit $500, get 100 US dollars futures bonus by trading, right? Small amounts. So basically 1,000, that's 200. You get the idea, folks. Now, limited time only. This deal finishes on November the 4th. November 4th evening. And if you're watching on YouTube right now, then the link is in the description below. The link is in the description below. But if you're watching on any other platform, such as this one, that's okay, because then you just click on my profile page and there is my link tree or stand link, and it should be the first deal that pops up. There it is, because it's a great deal. Okay, let's get back to the markets, folks. But remember, this deal is only available on the Pablo Heman link. Only on the Pablo Heman link. Now, here is the coin that I'm talking about. Oh, look at this. Very interesting. What is it called? Pretty. Remember how folks keep on asking Pablo, what's happening with Pretty? Pablo, what's happening with Pretty? What's happening with Pretty? Right? So this is what's happening with Pretty, right? Folks were in my Discord were asking what's happened to Pretty when I called it here on the first 1 or 2 day of launch, made like a 7x run, then dumped, and people panicked. And then instead of panicking, if they just putting a little bit, just a tiny little bit here, that would be a 30x run. That's a 30x run up to made new all-time highs, and then made new all-time highs again. And then basically Pretty, it's a prediction markets coin, by the way, pulled back here, and people started panicking again. It's like, Pablo, what happened to Pretty? Pablo, what happened to Pretty? Even though this is higher than any time, right? Even if you bought on the all-time high, which was what? Like just under 2 cents, 1.85 cents, and if it dropped here, that's 3.4 cents. It's still double. It's still double, right, of folks' entry, even if they got in at the exact high, and yet it's still, they're not happy. Like this, what was this low here? This is 4 cents. These are like 5 cents. It's like 3x higher. 3x higher, and people are still panicking. Pablo, what's happening with Pretty, what's happening? Well, what's happening with Pretty is this. You know that Pretty is a prediction markets coin, right? So what's happened here? What are the 4 largest sports in the United States, right? You basically have number 1, the NFL, Super Bowl. Number 2, arguably, baseball, right? Shohei Ohtani, Showtime with Shohei Ohtani. Number 3, NBA, it's showtime, it's game time, right? Number 4, debatable, is it NHL or is it UFC? So NHL, seen by many as the 4th, right, top 4 sports league in the US, signed a deal with Kalshi and Polymarket, right, to pressure on sports betting companies. Now, NHL, 4th largest sports league, you know what it is. So that's a very big deal. If NHL does this, it could pressure the NFL to do this. It could pressure UFC. It could pressure, MLB, which is the baseball. It could pressure NBA. Who's next? Who's next, right? So they've all signed with the 2 biggest prediction markets in the world right now. But that's not all. That's not all. What is one of the largest sports betting companies in the world? Right, DraftKings, right? They're listed on the NASDAQ. DraftKings. What have they done? They basically, to launch prediction markets platform. What do you know? Probably, I would say this is like the largest sports betting only, like not counting Las Vegas joints, but this is like if you're talking about sports betting only, then DraftKings probably number 1 in that narrative or field. And they're choosing Polymarket as his clearinghouse for DraftKings, right? So we've spoken about this before, And last time we spoke about prediction markets, that pretty, we're talking about, what's it called? Last time it was the New York Stock Exchange had invested into Polymarket, right? It's actually on Polygon chain. Now think about this. New York Stock Exchange. It's pretty much the largest stock exchange, any exchange in the world, my friends. Like the US stock market is worth something like 30 something trillion, 35 trillion, which is larger than the US GDP. And they basically, that stock exchange that everyone talks about, SP 500, right? Parts of the NASDAQ is traded on that. And they invested to become 20% shareholder in Polymarket, which is number one or number two in prediction markets. So these are all pretty big news. Obviously, this is a big narrative, right? But here's the thing. And then folks ask, oh my God, they're all investing in Polymarket or Kalshi, right? So Pablo, which one should I get into? Is it Kalshi or Polymarket? Well, here's the news, buddy. Do you want to try to invest in Kalshi on Polymarket? Why don't you try to buy their stocks? You cannot. Why don't you try to buy their crypto? You cannot. That's because they're not listed, buddy. None of these are listed. Like Kalshi stocks are not listed publicly. Polymarket stocks are not listed publicly. Kalshi and Polymarket, neither of them have a crypto token, neither of them. So then how do you play this phenomenon? How do you play the predictions market phenomenon? Well, the way to do it is through tiny little crypto tokens of prediction markets, such as Pretty, which is acting as an AI agent on Virtues right now to take people's bets. And look at it. I mean, its total FDV or market cap right now is both 11 mil. It's basically, it was under 10 mil, like about 12 hours ago when that news broke. So in other words, it's kind of like, they have these billion-dollar businesses such as Kalshi, multi-billion dollars, and Polymarket, but you can't invest in it. It doesn't have a stock, doesn't have tokens. But you know what you can invest in? Small crypto tokens, which are prediction markets. And it's not the only one. Pretty is not the only one, but it's the one that I like. And okay, let's look at what Pretty is doing right now. So basically, it formed this range. It could be a bull flag and a breakout, but that didn't happen. It was very tricky and came down here, and people started screaming, "Pablo, what's happening with Pretty? Pablo, what's happening with Pretty?" Right, inside my Discord. So then the natural thing to do is to get back inside this range, right? And look at this. This is from 0.95 cents to 1.9 cents, right? And we go here, get rejected. We get here, get rejected. We close above, looking good, top and tail, we get rejected, right? Doji, then we get rejected and we go all the way down. But now this time more news comes again and boom, in about 2 hours, 1.5 hours, I think the US market closes. And if we can close here at 11 cents, 1.1 cents, then there's a good chance we can do 2 or 3 more closes inside this range. That means we've reconfirmed this range, right? Then we should head next for the top of the range, which is 1.9 cents, almost 2 cents. And then maybe even a breakout.